that nowadays violence against women is often ignored. So, as we know, every day the violence invades the public and the private lives of women, girls and children, and it generates a climate of fear, and it has a severe consequence in their life and a social impact. So I just want to say that it's time to stand up and to fight for basic human rights. That's why I talked about the NOW, which is an international organization and a national organization for women, which is founded in 1966 by 28 women. And it works in 50 states in the USA. And now the National Organization for Women try to combat violence against women and try to secure the passage of better enforcement, of better law, to punish this kind of gross violation on women. And I just want to remember that the Declaration on the Elimination of Violence Against Women, which was approved in 1993, underlined that the violence against women is any act of gender-based on violence, which includes sexual harassment and rape, female genital mutilation, battering, prostitution, trafficking women. So there are different interrelated aspects to the issue, to the violence issue. In fact, the statistic in the USA point out that every day 4 women die in this country, and 1,400 die every year. Sorry, and many of them. Many women are battered or have been physically or sexually abused by intimate partners or ex-partners. So it's important to underline this gross violation, this big problem, and most of them, most female, suffer violence before they born, because their parents abort their unborn daughter. And there is also the Education Fund and the Now Legal Defense and other organization, which approved in 1996 the Violence Against Women Act, which is a law and which try to provide 1.6 billion to enhance investigation on violence against women.
Research has out a psychological profile of serial killers. These are people who kill repeatedly over a period of time. In the 21st century we listen daily about serial killers, but we have to remember these criminals have been studied in depth from the beginning of the 80s. Today people, press and media are talking about serial killers. The fiction proposes frequently the figures of serial killers, such as CSI in America or Release in Italy. And the films about this phenomenon are innumerable. Zodiac, Hannibal Lecter, Perfume are only the last example of a wide filmography. A serial killer, according to a definition given by the FBI in 1979, is someone who kills 3 or more victims in different places and with a cooling of time between a murder and another. This paper is structured in 2 chapters, in which one I try to answer to many questions about this phenomenon. In the first chapter I distinguished the typologies of serial killers and the characteristics of their. The serial killers can be divided into 4 categories: the visionary serial killer, the hedonistic serial killer, the mission-oriented, and the power seekers. The characteristics, according to the list of Robert Ressler, an agent of the FBI, are innumerable. The 90% are white male. They hate one of their parents, and they have a normal IQ. They do poorly at school or at work. In the second chapter, I analyzed 3 cases, very particular and different among them. The first is the story of Carol Edward Cole. Carol Edward Cole was a boy, but his mother gave him a female name. He hasn't a good feeling with her mother. In fact, he killed almost always women, because he said reminded him of his mother. And he was arrested in 1981 and executed in 1985. The second case is the story of Donato Bilancia, who is perhaps one of the most famous Italian serial killers. He killed 17 times, not following a single outline, but chose random victims. He declared that was the cheatings he suffered at the hands of his friends, Parenti and Centanaro, his first victims, that turned him into a serial killer. In fact, Donato Bilancia was considered an atypical serial killer because he started to kill at about 47 years of age, when usually the age of the first murder is at about 27-28 years of age. The third case is that of Beast of Satan. The existence of the sect was founded only after the murder of Mariangela Pezzotta, who is the ex-girlfriend of her murderers, Andrea Volpe. But after this murder were discovered other 2 murders imputed to this sect, that of Fabio Tollis and Chiara Marino. The members that was imputed these murders are 7, but according to the investigation there are many other suspicious deaths that can be examined and inputted to this sect. My idea at the end of this work is that there is still a lot to research in the psyche of these people, much to study on their ways of thinking, acting and seeing things.